Hey guys, Jason Amin, president of Edberg Jewelry in Metairie, Louisiana. So everybody knows that if you need a piece of jewelry of any kind, except grills, we don't make grills. But if you need any other piece of jewelry, we're the best bang for your buck, bar none. You cannot beat our prices, especially with gold prices today breaking $4,600 a troy ounce. We are even more of the best game in town because retail has to charge so much money, nobody's going to be able to afford jewelry anymore. But there's one thing about my business that a lot of people don't know that I do, and that is Edberg Jewelry has its pawnbroker's license. And so what that means is we give pawn style loans just like a pawn shop, but strictly using jewelry as collateral. So why is that so special? Well, guys, we charge half the rate of a pawn shop. Whatever a pawn shop charges you, we charge half that rate, right? A pawn shop usually gives you 3 months to pay it off. If you're 1 second late, they will keep your jewelry, right? We give you 6 months. We give you double the time to pay it off, right? So at the end of 6 months, I'll give you a call and say, hey, your loan is due. And if you had a death in the family, if you had something recently happen to you, I will do whatever I can to make it work, right? There's always a limit, but I'm not out to get your jewelry. I just want to loan you money, help you out. It is the very best short-term loan in the city. It's not the best long-term loan, right? So, but it is an amazing pawn style loan. So when people think of pawn shops, they kind of get a little, maybe like skeeved out a little bit. I mean, a lot of people don't want to go into a pawn shop, right? Which, I mean, I know a lot of great pawn shops and a lot of great people that run them, but for whatever reason, they associate, walking into a pawn shop and sliding their jewelry across the counter as something that's, demeaning in some sort of way. Well, I would say 80% of my loan customers are going to be white collar. Okay. So instead of sliding your jewelry across a desk at a pawn shop, you're going to be one-on-one with me in my office. It's nobody's business what you're here to do, right? So we keep everything private. It's just between us, right? I don't share any of my client pawn information with anybody else, right? And then, we're seeing a lot more attorneys. They just won a case. They're waiting to get paid. They have to pay their staff. They might bring in a Rolex and we give them $10,000. Or they, for instance, a builder, a contractor, right? They have to pay their staff, right? They have to pay their builders and their framers, and they have to do it. And a lot of the times they have to do it in cash, right? And so we'll see them come in, right? Even if you are, well-to-do, and a lot of people sometimes have a lot of their money invested in other things, and they have something come up where they don't want to pull out of their investments, right? And they need some quick cash. So remember, Edberg Jewelry, if you ever need anything, if you ever need a pawn style loan, I promise you, it is the best pawn in the city by double. Thanks.